we want to share with you this weekend's project for anyone who's interested out there. And this is what we've got, and it's all bolted together here. So this is basically the pack up. So we've got them 4 bolts. They go through. We've got these 4 plates, these 2 pipes. And then on the end here, we've got these 2 plates here with the welded nuts on there, and that's how it's being all held together. This is the proof of concept for a simple design for a hobo stove that I came up with. The simplicity of it is we have 4 plates that are all the same size, dimension, and construction, and we have 2 rings on the inside that are the same as well. We have a series of 8 bolts to put this together, so we've got 4 small bolts in each ring. If you wanted, you could take these large ones out and use those to hold this top ring in if you wanted. The intended purpose for this hobo stove was to cook something in a can, and that's why we have these dimensions here. That's why I chose this size of ring and these plates. You would get whatever can of food that you want and you would put it in there. And with the large bolts, they thread in far enough that they will support the can to be cooked on there. I do have 2 holes here. I have 1 hole here, so it's at the very top, and then I had 1 hole here. The intended purpose was that this would be the adjustment for your height. So your fuel source will be down here, and also too, I have these 45-degree cuts, and those are intended, if you turn it this way, you've got one here and one here, and that's supposed to draw the air in to feed the fire at the bottom there. Down inside, we'll take this plate here, and it should just rest inside at the bottom. There it is, and it just rests on them little bolts in the bottom. So on the bottom side here, you see them small bolts, and they come out just far enough to support this plate. So that's what's going to support our fuel. Now, the second part of this whole idea was, as again, for simplicity's sake, is I'm just going to use a hole saw here, the 3-inch hole saw, and I can go get any scrap wood. I can get 2x4s or plywood or fence posts, whatever I can find, and I just simply cut these pucks, and this is my fuel source. So down inside here, our little puck, it will fit in there. You could start it like that or put it down. I'm actually thinking once you've got this assembled, you could just throw whatever you wanted in the bottom there, get your fire going. Once you got it going, you just throw your puck in there and away you go. Another feature we have on this stove is if you wanted to move those rings, this ring down further, so you've got your 2 rings at the bottom there, then these pieces that also hold it together, their intended purpose was to slide into here, into those slots where it's flush with the top there. You can make these stick out as long as you want. What this is going to do is just going to support something larger on there. Like you could put your cup on there. You could put a small pot or a pan or whatever. So that is the second part here, and these are all removable. Everything's supposed to be easily assembled and disassembled and adjusted. That's the whole purpose behind it, is to make it simple and easy to use. So here's a breakdown again. All this is simply 3.5-inch outside diameter pipe, and it matches our plates here, which are 3.5 wide. You could make it as tall as you want, and then we just got 1-inch flat bar here for these slots, and then the welded nuts. So these are the 4 assembly bolts that go with the 2, if you want to call them assembly straps. And then we've got these 4 plates, which are all exactly the same, and our 2 pipes here with our 4 holes in each one, and those are all of our parts. Additionally, I've built this. This was kind of after the fact. What I was thinking was making one of them that had a bottom in it, but I like the idea of this being removable, so it's not fixed in there, because again, we have to make it so that this all bolts together, and we need those 4 holes. So if I was to make a permanent plate in the bottom, it would be pointless because it'd have holes in it for assembly. So I feel that just with a removable plate, it serves the same purpose. And now that I've decided to use a removable plate, what I would have liked to have done is incorporated it in here somewhere where I could bolt that on, but as it stands right now, this hole interferes with that one. If I was to build another one, I would have to incorporate that detail into the holes on the plates. With these ones here are kind of like the adjustment ones. You have one at the bottom to support your bottom ring, and then these two here were kind of intended to set the height between your fuel source and the top. You can have your two rings here, and then that way you can use these slots with these plates in there. So a couple different combinations that you can do with this. Ordinarily, you wouldn't need to paint anything because it's a hobo stove and it's going to be exposed to flame all the time, but this is a gift for somebody, so I'm going to clean it up nice and give it a nice coat of paint. I'm going to use this stuff here, this high heat paint. So we'll see how long that lasts after it's all said and done, and looking forward to actually trying to use this thing and see how it works.